Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're gonna be talking a lot of basketball. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel here. So first of all, let me start off by saying congratulations to LeBron James for reaching that incredible milestone. He is now the official leading scorer in NBA history. It was good that the NBA and the fans recognized him. Seems like it was an electrical moment. And funny enough, going into that game, I just had a feeling that I think LeBron is going to break this record tonight, right? I just had the feeling, and ultimately that's what ended up happening, and it was good for sports. Yes, not just the NBA, it was good for sports, right? Because yesterday, sports history was made, and it's going to be a very long time before we see another individual come by and beat that record. Now, I knew that was the one thing. We even put out a comment on the channel kind of recognizing LeBron's accomplishment. But what I also know was that, because I think there are a lot of LeBron supporters that were kind of waiting for this moment, right? They were waiting for him to get this record for them to say now, well, this is the greatest player of all time. A lot of them are. That's why sometimes they leave comments. I know you just can't, you're afraid, and all of this stuff, right? So this morning on Max Kellerman, was it Jay Williams, Max, Keyshawn and Jay, whatever the show, the morning show that they have on ESPN, they were talking about it, right? And the background of it is they were talking about who the greatest scorers in NBA history. Max Kellerman gave us top 5. I believe the order was number 5, Kobe. I believe number 4 was Kevin Durant. Number 3 was Wilt. Number 2 was Kareem. And number 1 was Michael Jordan. And of course, Jay Williams disagreed. So what we want to do is we want to play this exchange between these two gentlemen. And I want you guys to listen carefully to what they were saying to each other back and forth. And then we're going to come back and really get into the show here. So take a listen to that.
Than everyone else. And that's why, it was ridiculous. And at number 1, it's an uncontroversial pick. Michael Jordan has the highest scoring average, in spite of the fact that he's not Wilt, 7 feet, playing with 6 feet guys. He's a shooting guard. In an era where there were dominant big men, by the way, Michael Jordan not only led the league in scoring, which is what we mean when you say scoring champ, 10 times, but and was he doing it efficiently? I don't know. He also led the league in PER more than anyone ever, right? Including LeBron. So he's doing it more efficiently. And even when you look at his three-point shooting, which was average for his era, because no one took the three, he took 2 threes a game, something like that. The average team shot fewer than 10 threes a game. It was not a big part of the game. He was average in his era. It's a huge part of the game now. LeBron is almost average for his era. He's about average, maybe a tick below. But in his era, Jordan was a better three-point shooter compared to the league than LeBron is today, although it was not a big part of the game. And otherwise, Michael Jordan's offense was flawless. There was nothing like he was. What was Michael Jordan's?
Wait, Jay, let me. Jay, I want to just ask Max a question.
All right, LeBron's is 34 for his career.
But it's 34 in a league that's shooting 35 or 6, and Michael's was 33 in a league that was shooting 33 or 2, and they weren't taking very many of them, which is why it would help him. If Wilt was playing today, you'd have to think about an 8-foot player.
I just want to let you know that LeBron James is more efficient from 2-point shooting percentage and 3-point shooting percentage than Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
If you take them away from more than 3 or 5 feet from the basket, I'd like to look at those numbers. Because
3-point shooting percentage is away from the basket.
No, the 3, because they didn't really shoot it.
With Kobe shooting threes?
Kobe shot threes? What are you talking about?
He shot threes, but he didn't shoot 10 threes a game, 8 threes a game.
LeBron didn't start doing that to the later part of his career. Kobe started doing it too.
Yeah,
I mean, look, if you want to get
LeBron is more recent, obviously, than Kobe.
So, but LeBron,
towards the end of his career. Kobe shot a lot more threes at the end of his career.
Absolutely, 100%.
A lot more threes. Same with LeBron right now.
Less of his career was spent with the 3 than LeBron. How could you even argue that?
Less of his career was
spent. No, it was not. He is not.
LeBron can barely shoot.
LeBron James' 3-point attempts have been
he's 34%. Kobe's 31%
since 2016. Even before that, 14-15, 4.9, 5 attempts. Even before that, 07-08,
and what was he shooting from the 3?
He shot 5 of them a game at least for a long
See, I love when I see you squirming and going through stats on your phone.
I'm just looking up the numbers. You're bringing up the numbers.
But my thing is, you should look at the numbers before you say it. So all I'm saying to you, and that's the most valid point there is. Like, I see you looking up the numbers,
but
you made
bringing up different numbers.
Hold on.
So I'm looking it up.
You made an argument, And I'm telling you what the numbers are. So like, I think we get bogged down to a lot of like, here's what the scenarios are, but we don't have the actual facts to dictate the numbers.
So you heard the exchange between Jay Williams and Max Kellerman. Now, here's the irony in all of this. The irony is Jay Williams is the one that actually didn't get his numbers correct at all. And what I've noticed is that usually people that argue against Kobe or Jordan, all of this, they maybe are LeBron supporters. They thoroughly research LeBron's stats, numbers, and all of that. And then they use platitudes to then throw out things about, Kobe or Jordan. These are just platitudes, things they hear and they just repeat it again, right? They don't really, do the research on Kobe and Jordan whenever they say these things. That's the first thing. The second thing, and I think it's quite important that I say this right now, what's not going to happen is I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment. I think a lot of people, we even put it on the channel, I said LeBron is top 5 in my book, and some people said, oh, they're going to come for you. I'm not going to jump out the window because some dudes want me to jump out the window. Like, we have an audience here. People know what I think, and for me to just wake up one morning and all of a sudden have this eureka moment is going to make me look like a clown to my core audience. So I'm not going to do that, right? But I'm going to be as fair as I can. Now, let's get into what we're talking about here. First of all, Jay Williams tried to use the error argument, and it was a very bad one, a very, very bad argument. Why? Because the era in which Jordan played in, teams actually played physical defense. And it's one of the reasons the physical nature of the sport is one of the reasons it affected the scoring of the game. In the 90s, the average score an NBA team would put up per game was 101.3 points per game. Today, the average score, at least for this season, teams are putting up is 111.8 points per game, almost 112. That's the first thing. The second thing is there are more possessions in this current NBA today than there were before, which means that there are more opportunities to score. Obviously, the pace has also increased. Another thing worth mentioning, and this is quite obvious, is teams attempt more three-point shots per game. In 1998, to give you guys an example, the Chicago Bulls attempted 14.1 three-pointers per game. Today, teams are averaging around 34 to 35 three-point attempts per game. So there are more threes available. And given the fact that the NBA has shifted towards a three-point game and they want to speed up the game, defense is no longer a priority. Spacing also selects out for big men, and usually big men clog up the lanes. So it's harder to get to the basket and get those easy twos. And in the past, even if you could make it to the basket, they're gonna hit you hard. They're gonna hard foul you. Did you see Shaq used to hard fouling guys? If you do that today, that's a flagrant. They're throwing you out of the game, right? So the physical nature of the past made it harder to score. And given the fact it's not as physical today, it's actually easier to score. So when Jay Williams is saying it's in a more difficult era to play in, it seemed like as if he got the information reversed. It's actually easier to play today than it was before. Almost every NBA player said this, that it's easier to score today. Almost all of them, or the majority of them, say it's easier to score in today's NBA. So I'm not sure exactly what he was basing that information on. Now, let's get to the part where we're arguing about Kobe and LeBron. I want to get to this part quickly. And this is why I said that these guys usually use platitudes when they're arguing against Kobe and Jordan, and they thoroughly research LeBron. If you watch Kobe Bryant and LeBron James play basketball, it is clearly easy to see who had the better looking game and who could score the ball much easier. Kobe Bryant had literally every single shot you can think of in basketball. Even when you saw LeBron throw the ball off the basket, we got that from Kobe. Kobe did that in the playoffs against the Utah Jazz. There's every single shot in the game. I've seen Kobe hit left-handed turnaround three-point shots. There's no shot that Kobe Bryant didn't take and make in NBA history. If we're talking about creativity, his bag was limitless. His jump shot was incredible. Kobe could go right, he could go left, he could post you up, his footwork was unlike anything. So if you watch basketball, you already know this. If you also watch these two players play, if you watch them play, when Kobe played, the majority of his offense was generated in the mid-range, where he was very, very efficient. Now, if you listen to what Jay Williams said, he said, oh, Kobe was more, LeBron is he's just making stuff up. Just making things up from the moon. First of all, LeBron shoots a higher two-point percentage because of the nature of his game. The majority of LeBron's baskets come while he's going at the basket towards the rim, between 0 to 3 feet. That's his operation area. The further he goes out, the less efficient he becomes. That's number one. Number two, from 1996 to 2016, which is a 20-year window, Kobe Bryant made 2,775 unassisted mid-range shots. I want to repeat it again. From 1996 to 2016, Kobe Bryant made 2,775 unassisted mid-range shots. What do I mean by unassisted? Meaning he generated those shots on his own, right? He generated those shots on his own. He wasn't catching and shooting. In that same time frame, LeBron made 1,765. So if LeBron was averaging about 27 a game, where was he getting all the other shots? He was obviously getting them from the basket, which is where he is most efficient, right? LeBron made 1,000 less mid-range jump shots. And Kobe Bryant was more efficient from those distances. From 3 to 10 feet, LeBron shot 42%. Now, from close, he shoots around 70%. From like the basket, 0 to 3 or whatever, he shoots like 70 because that's where he gets the majority of his shots. From 3 to 10 feet, LeBron for his career is shooting 42.4%. From 10 to 16 feet for his career, LeBron shoots 36.8 for his career. From 16 feet to the 3-point line, he shoots 38.7, and then from the 3-point percentage, he shoots a little bit higher. Kobe, from those same distances, from 3 to 10, shoots 43.7. From 10 to 16, he shoots 43%, which is about 5 percentage points higher than LeBron. Almost 5 percentage points, almost 6 really. From 16 to 3-point line, he shoots 40% from the 3-point line, which brings me to the 3-point shooting percentage. As I mentioned before, teams are attempting in the mid-30s in 3-point shots, which means that the NBA is shifting towards that. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Kobe retired in 2016. In Kobe's last year in the NBA, in the last 6 years, LeBron has attempted no less than 6 3-point shots per game. In the last 6 years. This year, he's attempting 8 3-point shots a game, which means that the more repetition, usually the better you're going to get at it. Kobe only attempted 6 3-pointers one time in his entire career. Only once. LeBron has attempted at least 6 3-point shots in the last 6 years. And in terms of efficiency, what these guys are not going to also tell you, LeBron has never shot 80% from the free throw line. Ever. There's not been one season where he shot at least 80%. Kobe Bryant, for his entire career, shoots 83% from the free throw line, which is one of the reasons why he's more clutch. Kobe Bryant has 36 game-winning shots. Or go-ahead shot. 36. Go Google them. Go YouTube them. They're all there. They'll show you all 36 of them. Game-winning shots. And in my personal view, Keyshawn and Jay were just simply making things up about LeBron's 3-point attempts. They were just literally making things up. They were just pulling out information from Pluto.